Welcome. Welcome and thank you all so much for being here with us today. It's an exciting time for all of us who have been associated with National Eagle Center. Many of those that are with us have been here since the beginning, since 1989, when we were still Eagle Watch. Many others were involved with building this incredibly beautiful riverfront facility. We thank you all for being here and being a part of it. Others are new friends, family, and we want to thank you all for being our friends, our family, and our supporters. We are indebted to each and every one of you. It is with your hard work and belief that we have made it to today. Most importantly for all of us, it is the belief in the eagle. A spiritual guide and messenger for some, a symbol of freedom and our nation for others. But for all of us, it is the epitome of strength, beauty, character, freedom, and magnificence that is the Eagles. We're here for Eagles, for all that they are, for all that they symbolize, and for all that they inspire. It has been a very interesting several months since I came to the National Eagle Center. COVID has and continues to leave an indelible mark on all humanity. But we at the National Eagle Center, in no small part, the inspiration of these incredible animals, have used this time to evolve, to move forward, to change in terms of what we offer to our visitors and our communities, and to build a stronger, even more impactful future. It is truly a blessing to be here with you today, with our Eagle ambassadors, our team, and our board, to look toward an outstanding future. Today we are here to do 4 things. The first is to kick off phase 1 of our $27 million expansion and renovation made possible by our very special partnership with the city of Wabasha and supported in no small measure by the state of Minnesota. And thanks a great deal to many partners who are individuals and organizations. And to celebrate, as you see, a new brand identity, manifesto, and imagery that comes with our brand promise to soar beyond. Third, and certainly of equal importance, I want you to hear from our partners and supporters. They have made this project possible. And finally, we will talk about a timeline of when we will be able to open up phase 1. But before I introduce our panel of speakers, I want to say on behalf of the board of directors, the staff of the center, and our many community supporters, it's time to acknowledge some really incredible investments in this project. We are truly, deeply grateful for the vision and support of Robert and Sandy Kloss. We are sad that they are gone because they were the spirit of the center and all that it embodies. We know, however, that their investment through their estate is going to move us forward because of their deep belief in the center, what it brought to Wabasha, and our Eagles. It has helped us become what we are today. We also want to say thank you to John and Marcia Bouquet. This incredible plaza that you are sitting on is due to their generosity. John had vision to create this incredible statue of Chief Wabasha and celebrate the Dakota history and people on this land. He did the work on this incredible fountain himself, and he continues to maintain it. For us today, they have given another huge gift of $1 million to this project to assure that we continue this work and this representation for the community. These messages of the history of the Eastern Dakota people will continue through this design and development, but certainly not least of all as the respect, reverence, understanding, appreciation, and care of eagles and our ambassadors is fundamental to their belief system. We are honored to announce today the Prairie Island Indian community is donating $1 million to help us achieve our goal of further building the care for and exhibitions at the National Eagle Center. This gift is first and foremost to assure that our eagles have the care and respect they so deserve. It will also help the center evolve into an internationally recognized museum with quality exhibitions and programs. We're deeply thankful to the Prairie Island Tribal Council and community for their support. And later in this conference, Franky Jackson, Prairie Island Tribal Compliance Officer, will say a few words. Now it is my distinct honor to introduce Wabasha Mayor Emily Durand. Mayor Durand has been a true supporter and partner with us on behalf of the city and community.
Greetings. I'm Emily Durand, Wabasha's mayor, and I wish you a warm welcome to Wabasha today. We're gifted with this beautiful September day to appreciate not only the heritage of our built environment and the future of our city, poised to include the tremendous expansion of the National Eagle Center, but also, very importantly, we celebrate and revere our natural world right before us. This majestic Mississippi, which brings both eagles and humans among many species, the splendid river valley. We're proud to be improving access to our riverfront for the public's enjoyment. The National Eagle Center itself, Meg pointed out, and this expansion project have had many mothers, fathers, and brothers and sisters shaping it all along the way. I have been privileged to play a senior role as a member of our city council as the concepts for this joint project have become refined, and we have now set out to make these visions a reality. Also vital to this project's possibility is the family of donors who have contributed generously, as Meg has pointed out, the members and visitors who sustain the center, the board of directors who lead it, and the staff leadership who steward this organization. And of course, the state of Minnesota, whose significant investment in this project demonstrates the very unique economic and cultural value of this institution for the region and the state, but also for the nation. I'll echo former Center Executive Director Rolf Thompson, who I should have known would show up and could say this himself, but I remember when we visited the State Rotunda as a community by the busload to advocate for this important project. I brought my young daughter for her to see what this community believes this project means to us and our state, and she was impressed, and you can't impress little kids that easily sometimes. And Rolf said, "This is not a local project. This is the National Eagle Center here in Wabasha, Minnesota. Indeed, it is our National Eagle Center because it is the world's, and we are very fortunate for that." Thank you.
Now it's my honor to introduce State Representative Barbara Haley, who championed the bonding dollars we needed to get this project off the ground and assisted us during the last legislative session to get phase one of this project moving forward. She worked with us diligently to find the funds, but also to make sure we could activate this important economic development project to get much needed dollars into our community. Representative Haley.
Thank you, Meg. Thanks, everybody, for being here. What a gorgeous day. I'm so grateful to represent this community in St. Paul. And my connection to eagles actually starts as a child. I was born and raised in Red Wing and grew up, as we like to say, as a river rat, water skiing on the Mississippi. moved back to Red Wing 20 years ago to raise my kids, and I'm lucky enough to live on Lake Pepin, where I get to see the eagles every day. My connection to the center here is as a mother. I brought my kids here when they were little. We love to come because one of your ambassadors is named Columbia. Of course, as you remember, named after the Columbia space mission and in honor of those astronauts. My children are adopted from Columbia, so they felt like Columbia was their eagle. It was a little spelling lesson in there too every time we would visit because, of course, the country of Columbia is spelled differently than Columbia the eagle. But that was my connection to the center as a native Minnesotan and growing up in this region and as a mother. And as your state representative, this project really is one of the most, the most fun. Politics isn't always fun, right? This has been fun, so thank you for bringing that to my day. As you know, it's very difficult to get state bonding dollars. We bond traditionally every other year, and normally we get 5 times the requests in for money, so we can't fund every project. Many communities try 5, 6, sometimes a decade to get money. This ask was no small ask. We started at 10 million, we were able to secure 8 million. But the process of doing that is really one of the most bipartisan things that we do in St. Paul, because bonding requires a supermajority. So in the Minnesota House, 134 representatives, that means 80 people have to support the project. So what that meant for me and for all of you is that you got to tell your story to St. Paul. And together we convinced 80 representatives in the House and more in the Senate that this, as Meg said, was not only important to Wabasha, but was important for the region, was important for the state, and really was important for the country, as Meg said. This is the National Eagle Center. And we were able to gain that support through a lot of meetings, a lot of conversations. And so know that you've got a supermajority in the Minnesota House that stood behind this project. And I can't wait to bring my colleagues down to see it when you finally complete it. So thank you for the opportunity to represent you. Congratulations on this amazing accomplishment. And I look forward to the work as we kick it off today to soar beyond.
Now it's certainly a pleasure for me to introduce to you Franky Jackson, Chief Compliance Officer of the Prairie Island Indian Community. He's an important member of our Collections Committee, as I've mentioned, a supporter, and helps guide us in all things to deal with Native cultures and eagles. Thank you for coming, Franky.
Thank you for that introduction, Meg. It's an honor to be with you today, representing the Prairie Island Indian community as we recognize and celebrate the importance of the eagle and the rich and deep connection it has to Native people. To our people, eagles are more than just symbols. Eagles are relatives and serve as messengers to the Creator. They help us honor our past, celebrate our present, and represent our future. On behalf of the Prairie Island Indian community, I want to extend our thanks and appreciation to the National Eagle Center staff for their ongoing mission and for their willingness to help share the story about the important connection between the majestic birds and our First Nations. Protecting and preserving eagles is the responsibility we take seriously, and we are fortunate to have such wonderful partners in the National Eagle Center. We are proud of Prairie Island's relationship with the National Eagle Center and ongoing support for its mission. The center continues to be a wonderful partner for the tribe, especially in helping us navigate the federal process for acquiring eagle feathers and down birds for use by community members and for our ceremonies. Our work with the center to include a culturally relevant exhibit featuring Native artists will redefine the customer's experience and allow guests to learn about the special relationship and connection for Native people with the eagle. Equally important to the tribe is the ongoing work with the center to develop policies and procedures for avian care. We are incredibly fortunate to have a facility that offers human stewardship of injured birds and look forward to working with the center to continue building on those services. Thank you.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Bruce Cornwall, our lead architect from LHB Architects, who has been with us on this project since our earliest days. The current center is his brainchild, and he has stayed with us through many iterations of what could be and what should be, and we are honored that he is still with us, helping guide us through this process. Bruce?
Thank you, Meg. That was a nice introduction. Thank you. First of all, on behalf of the design and construction team, J.E. Dunn, LHB Architect, which I'm part of, Dunham Engineers, and Bolton and Mank, Engineering and Civil and Landscape Architecture, I just want to let everyone know how grateful we are to be part of this great project. Meg acts like it's been a chore to stay around all those years. It's really been a delight. I've gotten a lot of people here, not just at the center, but in the community. And it really makes for a very rewarding experience. So you're very lucky to be here, and I'm honored to be part of this. As Meg said, we've been involved a long time. Believe it or not, I believe we looked, it was 1999, I think, when there was a center planned, I think, in conjunction with the Audubon Society, upriver, just outside of town. And we are involved consulting a little bit with that. Of course, a lot of things have changed since then, haven't they? With the two bonding cycles, now the storefronts on Main Street for a long time, and then, of course, this facility. And now here we are to expand even further again. And it's very exciting. The interesting thing about that from 1999, actual goals and the primary focus of the Eagle Center really hasn't changed. There have been three primary goals that we've always been charged with making sure are evident in the architecture. First of all, there was, that we provide excellent care for the birds. I mean, frankly, that was the important part, to celebrate their place in the natural world and the crucial role that they play in all of our cultures, from First Nations to the Americas and others. Second is provide a first-rate experience for the visitors that visit the center. We are all acting as hosts when we bring people to Wabasha and the surrounding area. So we want to make sure that we take their considerations to the foremost. And lastly, it has always been told and emphasized to us that we needed to make sure that the architecture provided a positive impact on the quality of life and the economic vitality of the region. And those have stayed with us, I remember since 1999, that's still, and here we are 22 years later, and it is still the primary aspect of the mission. So, a little bit about the buildings to come, or the changes. So the new project, which is phase 1 and 2 phases, that we're celebrating today is no different. We've tried to accommodate the first goal of excellent care for the eagles by the following. First of all, we are moving the eagles from Main Street into the riverfront building. And this is done to provide for increased care for the eagles, to locate them together. Right now they're separate, one here and one on Main Street, so that the wonderful people who take care of the eagles can actually be even more attentive to them. So by moving them to the riverfront, they'll get better care. We're also providing better access to natural light, better access to the air. We have operable windows, so each eagle actually has their own private view now. Your dollars are going towards private views for eagles, but it's very important that they can open up on an individual basis and have that fresh air. We've also are going to provide a new and upgraded weathering yard. I think you're all familiar with the weathering yard. It's basically a little chain-linked area. It doesn't really provide basic security and protection that they need so they can thrive. So you'll see a new weathering yard being built just adjacent to the center. So secondly, the new Eagle Center is going to provide for enhanced visitor experience. And I think a lot of this is done through three major things. One is the upper level now of the riverfront is going to be converted really to all gallery space. So now this gallery space will be able to further kind of expand what you heard Franky talk about in terms of First Nations art and artifacts, plus what you will see here when Preston Cook talks about his collection. There are also a small gallery to be built out of the shells, the first 3 or 4 buildings on Main Street. So there'll even be activation with the Main Street and galleries there. So on top of that, the other thing to keep in mind is that I believe that the museum quality exhibits will be provided to replace the current ones that are in the Eagle Center. So there'll be a brand new experience in terms of how we learn about the biology and the environment that the eagles survive in and thrive in. So lastly, and most critically, as I mentioned, this idea of connecting to the community. The Eagle Center is doing that in 2 or 3 strong ways. One, partnering with the city to reconstruct Big Joe Alley. So that'll be a nice kind of pedestrian way with new lighting, new paving, cleaning up that backside. So it's really going to be a place for people to come. You can imagine farmers markets, celebrations, just nice strolls will actually be activated with hopefully festival lights, and it really become a destination place. Also coordinating very well with completing some new dockage that'll be constructed out on the river to bring large and small watercraft. So obviously more visitors, which helps the community. The other thing that we're trying to do is that by strengthening the connection to Main Street, so that's why this initial investment in the Main Street, to bring in a classroom over there, bring essentially a gallery, as I mentioned, new toilets, essentially a lobby that will connect Main Street directly back and through to Big Joe Alley and the Eagle Center on the riverfront. So by that, trying to actively engage what's happening on Main Street. Well, also, we will be investing in the open lawn, if you will, to provide a front lawn for the community, just adjacent to the Eagle Center. So this is an area that we can have not only educational exhibits and educational programs, but it's also a place for the community, for all of you to enjoy picnics, your own festivals, and your own celebrations. So it was really a partnership that the architecture is trying to knit together and create something that's very special. So in closing, we think we've accomplished a lot of this. We look forward to moving forward even to subsequent phases. And Meg, I hope to be around for all those too. But the idea here is to truly activate and celebrate this wonderful triad of the river, the community, all of the community, and the economic vitality of Wabasha. So thank you very much.
And last, but definitely not least in this scenario, is our very generous benefactor, Preston Cook. Preston has committed his multi-million-dollar, well more than 25,000 item collection to the National Eagle Center after looking for a place that he felt would be a good home. We are thrilled that we are the beneficiaries of this incredible contribution, and we look forward to sharing the many stories and items that he has for all to see. Preston Cook.
Well, thank you, Meg. I appreciate those kind words. And it's real exciting to be up here to see such a great crowd. And I see my wife over here. I have to introduce my wife and my stepson. Thank you for being here. She's been a great supporter of mine over the years. And I certainly appreciate that she has supported an obsession that I've had collecting the eagles over the 35 years of our marriage. Today commences an exciting future for the American bald eagle. For the first time in America's 245-year history of having the bald eagle as our national emblem, we celebrate the first phase of the creation of one and only dedicated museums for the American eagle here at the National Eagle Center. I am sure the founders of our great nation would be proud of this day. Early on in my collecting, I began to appreciate the many ways the bald eagle symbolizes the American spirit of freedom. In the wild, it is magnificent, distinctive, powerful, independent. On the Great Seal of the United States, it portrays the ability for peace and war equally, one claw holding an olive branch, the other holding arrows. And its beak carries our motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, the declared goal of our democracy. In political representations, the eagle has two wings, a left wing and a right wing, which includes us all. As you will see when you visit this collection at the center, the eagle means many things to many people. While its multiple and various representations over the centuries have made it the beloved emblem that is familiar to us all. The bald eagle is our nation's symbol of union, unity, and liberty. I began collecting eagles as a young man around 55 years ago when I happened to see a movie called 1,000 Clowns that contained the magic words, "You can't have too many eagles," which sparked my interest in eagles and specifically the bald eagle. I started the collection with the gold-plated buttons on my Army dress uniform issued to me in the fall of 1966, the year I saw the movie. You will notice on my blue blazer today, I am wearing those same buttons issued to me by the U.S. Army in 1966. From there, it's been a fascinating and educational journey through the worlds of art, nature, culture, and social history. I visited many parts of the country, meeting living bald eagles and eagle enthusiasts. I looked for other collectors and institutions of eagle items, but found no one with my wide-open, all things eagle approach that has netted such a great variety and diversity. I noticed over the years that most people I talked to do not seem to understand my collection. I've decided to put together a book that would showcase some 1,340 pieces from the collection, covering 8 major categories that I arranged as chapters. It took 7.5 years to photograph and digitize the images for the project, research them fully, and then organize the materials. And the results are an award-winning book, which is for sale here at the Eagle Center and also online. I eventually accumulated sufficient material not only for a museum, but also a library and research center. It all needed a home, a place to share the wonders of this bird and its impact on nearly every aspect of our country and the people within. When I realized there was no museum dedicated to the American bald eagle, I set a goal of finding a home for all to view, learn from, and enjoy the American eagle as I have for so long. After years of research and travel to both coasts, from Alaska to the East Coast and in between, I came to Wabasha. I first visited almost 20 years ago when the Eagle Center was a small storefront on Main Street with a single ambassador, Harriet. At that time, I was able to meet several board members and members of the city council and the then mayor and center benefactors, Sandy and Bob Kloss. I was impressed with the enthusiasm of the people involved, with the then fledgling Eagle Center, and with Wabasha's community spirit, volunteerism, and generosity, insisting on the continuation and expansion of plans for a new building to house live birds, educational programs, displays, and exhibits. I am very pleased the National Eagle Center has agreed to accept a donation of more than 25,000 individual eagle items from my collection. Among such a large selection and range of objects, I believe everyone will discover eagles to identify with, be it a profession, a hobby, or an interest. The eagle touches everyone in some way or another. It is often said that everyone has an eagle story. We now have the opportunity to share the collection with the public so more people can learn and enjoy the natural and symbolic eagle as I have, and perhaps join me in achieving my ultimate American Eagle goal, the building of a center, all things Eagle. Thank you. Thank you.
I also want to do a call out, as Bruce did, to the various partners that we have in the construction and development of this project. I want to recognize Brett Dunlap from J.E. Dunn, who is leading construction management. And I also want to thank him and his team and all of Bruce's team who have guided us along this rocky path at times to get where we are today. As you can see, we are ready to move forward, to truly soar beyond. And we are grateful to each and every one of you that has helped us get here. I want to thank most sincerely the members of our board of directors who believe in this project in their very hearts and souls, and who have been my biggest supporters since I've been here, and who started this project well before me, and my incredible team and staff members and volunteers at the center who love eagles in their deepest hearts and souls, who care for them, and who want to share all of their stories so that all of you can care for them as deeply as they do. I do have one final message to share, and that's our timeline. We hope that all of you will come back and see us often between now and October 25th. That is when we are going to close for a short period of time in order to reinvent this institution. We will reopen in the spring, so please pay attention to social media and all things National Eagle Center about the exact dates that we will be doing that. You will be able to see a whole new inside of the National Eagle Center, buildings on Main Street for programming that will be as outstanding and even more outstanding than they have always been. Then we start construction on the open space that will open in September of next year. So please pay attention and come back and see us, but do come see us again before October 25th. Today we are thankful for each and every one of you, and we appreciate all you have done for us, all you continue to do for us. Please join us for a small reception inside the center to see how we look now, so that then you can look at us as we soar beyond and see how we look when we open again. Thank you so much for being here today.